Last player standing.
What? Yet again.
We just activated it.
Oh.
Good shit.
One down. One enemy remaining.
What is up, my hollow-headed gamers? It is XTR here to bring you a brand new video. Well, not really brand new because we already went over this video 2 years ago. It's been 2 whole years since I recorded my original How to Entry Frag, and we're going to touch up on it a bit, make it look a bit prettier, and basically just make a better video than the last one. And hopefully this will be a very condensed and very easy to follow guide on how to entry frag in this game. Now, I'm using Reyna solely for the fact that she doesn't have any movement abilities aside from the dismiss, because in the situation where you are playing a non-duelist and you don't have any movement abilities, you want to know how to entry frag without utilizing the movement abilities such as the dash, right? Things like that. So I'm going to go over that because there are times when you are going to be forced into an entry fragging role when you are not playing a duelist. That is the main reason I'm not using a movement character and I'm not entry fragging with Jett or with Phoenix, someone with a lot of util to get them onto site, because this is supposed to be a generalized guide for pretty much every agent that they can actually utilize this guide to learn how to entry frag on their agent. So there are 4 pillars and 4 principles to actually entry fragging properly. So your 4 pillars are going to be aim, confidence, map knowledge, and team awareness. And all 4 of these tie into each other. Aim and confidence is one of the biggest 2 that tie into each other, but you also need map knowledge and team awareness. Map knowledge being where you're pre-aiming and whatnot, and knowing where the enemies are probably going to be, just given based on where they've been playing, and how many players are left, and how much time is left in the round. So team awareness is knowing when to push. And the reason you need team awareness in a situation like this is you don't want to push in without your teammates being ready, because then you're just going to run out and die and look like an idiot, and your team is going to tilt just solely based on the fact that you are bad at the game. And then knowing how far to push. Once you have successfully entry fragged onto site, you need to know how far to extend your aggression past the point of which you already have. So let's go into this. Let's start off right away. So we're going to talk about your first principle, which is aim. Aim is going to be coupled with your confidence and your pre-aiming. Those are like the big 3 for entry fragging. Now, the only reason I add team awareness is because you need to use it before you start. But once you're already in the process of entry fragging, the 3 main things you need to do are use your aim, confidence, and your pre-aiming all together to get a successful entry frag. Now, the role of an entry fragger is to either get 1 kill and die, or to get info and have your team trade you out if you're not able to get the first kill, which is going to happen a lot of the times. If you are not having the greatest game, you are not going to be getting entries every single round, and you have to be okay with that. You're running in first, you are going to die, I'd say at least 50% of the times, unless you're having a great game. You're going to want to use your aim and confidence, and we're going to use the pretense that this is cleared out by like a Sova drone, right? Everything else not cleared. There's also going to be a smoke here and a smoke heaven, so we aren't going to be clearing those. So first thing you're going to want to do is, usually what I'll do is I'll throw a flash here, I'll clear this, and then I'll start swinging and I'll hold, and I will hard clear this by the time my flash goes out. Now from this point, I will throw a flash here and I will walk out pre-aiming. I'll hard clear this and I'll keep walking. I won't expose myself to this angle yet, but I will clear this to the best of my ability, and then I will clear, keep going, and I will push into U-Haul, clear this angle first, right? Because you don't want to swing like this, because then you can get shot from this angle and you have to adjust. So what you want to do is clear an angle like this, maybe shoulder, and then hard swing this and try and get the kill. From here comes in team awareness, knowing where your team is at on site, right? You're in U-Haul, you have U-Haul control. Now you have the decision to make, do I want to keep pushing or not? Now this is a very hard decision to make on the fly, because if you push out and die, you could be getting too aggressive, right? But if you think your team could use the extra space, then go for it. One of the main reasons your team is going to want the extra space, if there's no sage wall here, right, and your team doesn't have any control of this, you might want to push out. So one of the main times I will be pushing out is if there's somebody on my team getting fought from triple. I will walk out like this. I'll pre-aim this. I won't be like actually shooting or anything, but I'll be pre-aiming this. I'll walk out, I'll hard clear, and then I might go into CT while they're being fought and keep extending further, trying to get a pick, or I will walk around the back just waiting, and I will get this kill as my team is fighting them. There's a lot of ways you can do it. You just have to be aware of the rotates of the enemy team. If the team isn't actively rotating, and you like, if you think the team isn't already into CT, that is a good time to push CT very quick. But if you think they're already in CT, it might be a better idea to just hold here until you take a fight and then fall back into U-Haul and hold U-Haul control. So map knowledge and pre-aiming is one of the biggest things. You're gonna want to know all of the angles I talked about and be able to pre-aim them very successfully. Hold your crosshair at the angle, so when you come around, you are already aimed in on an angle that is very, very common, like this angle specifically here. And then once you're holding this, you can switch to this angle, you can hard clear this, already pre-aimed, and you already have a headshot lined up. That's how good pre-aiming is. You want to, every time when you are about to swing, you want to line your crosshair up and pre-aim the angles that you're about to swing. It's that simple. That is how big pre-aiming, and pre-aiming is one of the biggest parts of entry fragging and just one of the biggest parts of taking fights in this game. When you are going to swing, you're going to want to pre-aim. If I'm just walking out like this, I have to adjust, and you don't want to have to do that. So pre-aiming is extremely important, and you learn that just solely by playing the game, or you can use the practice range in game, but that only really covers ascent. So it's really up to you on that, but you'll learn it over time. And it's a skill you want to actively try and improve on, especially if you are an entry fragger, because that's one of the biggest things. Aim and confidence, like I said, you want to be confident, because if you're just like walking in like this and then you're stalling, right? And you're scared to entry frag, right? Like let's say you throw a flash here, but you don't commit. You just kind of throw a flash and fall back to this angle. Your team's going to wonder what the heck you're doing. You know, it's really stupid. All right. So yes, you don't always want to hit, but when you are doing a fast hit, you need to commit to the entry so you can get your team onto site. It doesn't matter if you die. It's a fuck video game. If you die, you die. Whatever. Get over it, right? So play confident. Don't worry about dying. Worry about playing your role. Worry about fulfilling your role. Getting onto site and creating space for your team. That is your role as an entry fragger, is creating space and finding information on where the enemy team is playing. Therefore, your team is able to trade you out effectively. Now, when I say team awareness, knowing when to push and how far to push, we already went over how far to push, but we're going to go over knowing when to push. When you are at this point here, if you are alone, you can throw a flash and you can like take some fights, but don't extend past this point and just run in alone. Make sure your team is there to trade you out. Otherwise, you are just wasting a life. If you get a kill, cool. But if you die, you just lost the round for your team generally. Like most of the times, if you just run in alone, you are putting your team in a horrible position to recover from. So make sure that you are waiting for your team to be ready to push in with you to capitalize on your usefulness. That is one of the biggest things as an entry fragger. And one last thing that you want to do as an entry fragger is constantly feed your team communication. Ask for flashes, ask for drones, ask for darts, ask for any util that can potentially help you out. Ask for smokes. If you are not Reyna, ask for the Reyna to throw a blind so you can dash out, so you can walk out, so you can peek an opper, things like that. Use your words. You know, you have a microphone. I would assume everyone that's watching this video should have a microphone. If you don't, please go buy one. You know, if you don't have any money, go pick some weeds for a day or something. Get enough money for a microphone so you can communicate to your team and you can win the round based off your communication. You can boost your odds in winning a round greatly by communicating as an entry fragger. Not only do you want to ask your team for things, but you want to give your team things. You want to give your team information. When you're clearing things out, if you walk past somebody, this is another thing. When you are entry fragging, right? Say I see someone right here in cubby. The last thing I want to do is sit cubby and then just hold and fight this kid forever. You call that to your team. That's what you do. You call for your team, hey, there's somebody in cubby who's not really peeking, right? So if there's somebody in cubby and he's not really peeking, you don't stop your entry. You don't halt your entry because of this guy and watch him. I've seen this so many times where an entry fragger just halts what they're doing just to fight this guy that's not even peeking them. If you see a guy that's not going to peek you, just run past them, call it out, and continue on entry fragging. That's all you need to do. You don't need to wait around and wait for this kid to peek you. You're wasting like 10, 20, 30 seconds maybe even just staring at this guy, forcing the rest of your team to entry in or forcing them to fight with you. Yes, you can call it out and maybe call for a molly, but at that point, it's not your fight to take. You continue on, you keep going, your team can deal with him while you clear out the rest of the site for them. You don't always have to go U-Haul, someone else can go U-Haul. You can take a path like this and keep going, clear out all this, and then kill this kid. If that's the route you want to take, you can do that. But generally, what you want to do is let your team fight with him while you keep making space. And if you want to fight him, you can. Just do it a bit more aggressively. Don't just hold him. Anyways, guys, that was a bit heated of a video, but that's all I really wanted to talk about. And yeah, I hope this video helped you guys out. This is my personal take on entry fragging, right? I didn't watch any other videos before making this. I didn't do any research. This is just, I've entry fragged for a very long time, and this is the best way I've learned to do it. Utilizing these 4 pillars and utilizing my aim and confidence in my pre-aiming to get me onto site and to create space. This is one of the best ways to entry frag. This is one of the best ways I've found to entry frag. So if you guys enjoyed the video, if it helped you out, go ahead and leave a comment. If you didn't enjoy the video, tell me why. And also, if you guys have any questions, I will try my best to answer them. I didn't really go over like training entry fragging because that's not really something that is super easy to do. A lot of it is just game sense in this game, whereas in Counter-Strike, you had maps specifically training entry fragging. If you really want to train entry fragging, you could do the hard bots. It'll teach you a common basis of just pre-aiming in general. Yes, it's only for one map, but it'll teach you how to pre-aim pretty effectively. So I would recommend doing that. That's something you can look into if you really want. But pre-aiming in deathmatch is, I would say, a bit better, to be honest. If you want to like actually practice your aim and your pre-aiming, it also teaches you how to swing properly if you're effectively playing deathmatch and you're not just like holding angles and hiding the entire time and shift locking around. If you're playing in deathmatch effectively, it'll teach you how to properly take fights as an entry fragger. So like I said, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I will do my best to answer them. I'll see you guys later.